Hello, orchard lovers. This is Getting Carried Away. I'm going to do an orchard update. This is June 30th, 2026. I'm probably going to split this up in a couple parts. Not sure how many, but we'll go ahead and get started. All right, not too much to update. I'll try to just cover the main basics here. These two plants right here have grown pretty well, but nothing much extraordinary to talk about on them. This is my multi-grafted Red Delicious apple tree here. So this branch is still Red Delicious, but there's plenty of grafts on here. This one right here is White Winter Pearmain. This is Sierra Beauty. And then there's two grafts, one right there, one right there that are likely Cherry Crush. Just because of how they're growing, it matches. Like this one was much longer. You can kind of see where I made the pruning cut right up in here. It was way out and it was really long and lanky, kind of like my Cherry Crushes. The person I got it off of from Fig Big said that it was either Cherry Crush or Appaloosa. He wasn't sure. He mixed up the labels. So he gave me a couple pieces that were, one of them was Cherry Crush, one of them was Appaloosa. And I think I only got one of the Appaloosa to take that I made. So, and that's on another tree on the other side that I'll get to later. Here is my Amberwine. It's basically a bush at this point. It has grown a lot. It's most of the leaf volume of the tree, so I'm not messing with it right now. I'm just going to leave it. It will be summer pruned, but looks great so far. There is a couple other grafts on this tree. So this is a black Oxford graft right here that's grown, and then back here in the middle with a lot of dead wood, but still has a bunch of fruit buds on it. Oddly enough, it just isn't growing for whatever reason. Is a Discovery, and then this large graft up here is our Hudson Golden Gem graft here. I'm going to actually be taking a cutting off of this here this upcoming spring, once everything's dormant, and I'm grafting it onto one of my rootstocks in the backyard to make a Hudson Golden Gem tree, and see if I can get that to fruit, because I feel like it's kind of pear flavored and I like pears. So over here is my Pink Lady multi-grafted apple tree here, and it's been having some trouble. Actually, this tree here, this tree here, this tree there, and that tree over there apparently are varieties that are very sensitive to soil pH, getting apple measles. So I apparently have very low soil pH here. I tested it and I did a lot of amendments to it. I did it maybe 3 or 4 days ago, so it's going to take a while for it to work into the system of the tree, because it takes a long time for the lime to raise the pH. I did 4 gallons per tree of 2 cups of pelletized lawn lime, which adds the lime to raise the soil pH. Plus it has calcium in it, so that'll help the tree as well. Any fruit that it has keep from getting bitter pit, which apple measles is kind of notorious for producing bitter pit. And then it also had a little bit of boron in it. I think about a fourth or half a teaspoon. I can't remember exactly. I know it was the correct amount because I researched it beforehand, but I don't have the numbers offhand on that. And then I did 12 teaspoons of Sol Pol Mag, which is sulfur, potassium, and magnesium, because this also has low magnesium in the soil here. Yay, Alabama clay. Oddly enough, only this side of the orchard has it, really. That side over there had different soil type when I dug into it. Like, it was nice, rich. I took up all the grass and everything over the winter, and it's all grown back and it's like a bush over there, and because of the deer fencing I'm having trouble cutting it right now. I wanted to spray some posts over there to kill off the Bermuda grass and everything that's growing, but unfortunately right as I got back from the cruise, the heat wave decided to hit, and it's going to be way too hot to spray it without possibly burning the lower leaves or damaging the fruit. Plus I have fruit, so if it's within 14 days of being picked, I can't spray it. And my Dorset Golden's definitely very close to being picked. In fact, I may be picking it this morning. I don't know. I do a lift test every morning, and I haven't done it yet, but just to check to see if it's ready to come off the tree. But you notice a distinct lack of a graft right here, and that is because my Akane graft actually died on me. Wasn't really sure why. So the leaves were turning yellow, and then purple veins down the middle of them. And then when I got back from the cruise that I went on, they had mostly turned brown, and the actual branches were starting to shrivel up. So I knew it was dying. So I did a couple of chips off of it, and I'm trying to see if I can get early season. Normally you chip bud like in August time frame, but it's, you know, almost the beginning of July here. So I chip budded that 6 days ago with chips from there. I put 2 in there because I made a pretty decent sized cut with my razor blade that I had, and then I cut off the actual Akane graft, just so if there was a borer in it, it wouldn't go down into the actual tree. I don't see any borer damage or anything on that. And I left a stump here, probably too long. I probably could cut it back a little further, but I just wanted to be, let's see if I can get that to actually show. Yeah, so there is one little growth off of it here, and I kind of want that to grow out and kind of replace it, because if you notice, this side of the tree facing the west, where the harshest sun is just completely empty. There's nothing here. So that's why I put these 2 buds here to hopefully grow a branch out, or at least hopefully have that grow out and have something to protect the trunk of the over here on the western side, because this is just sunburned city. I painted it, but I don't know if having the sun out, you know, every time that the sun's on the western side at its hottest point is good for the tree. Okay, so heading over here, this graft here, I think I said in the last video that I thought it was a Hudson Golden Gem like that one. In front of me right here, this is another Hudson Golden Gem graft. But based on how its leaves are acting and how, like, see, there's this nutrient deficiency on it here, where it's got a little bit of necrosis on it and chlorosis, and just how they're shaped and the structure and the growth patterns, I'm thinking it's more like my Ellison orange over there. That's another reason I want to make that Hudson Golden Gem there, make another graft of it. Just in case something ever happens to that graft, say like fire blight decimates it and have to cut it out. I don't want to lose the variety, and I haven't had a lot of apples to taste yet, so you know, eventually I may say, I don't really care for this variety, and then have to cut it out and regraft it over to something else to try something new. But hey, you know, that's the fun, and that's the fun in all this. We're experimenting, we're learning new things, and plus, it's better than grocery store apples. Everything's, you know, it's just fun, fun project. So we have 2 other grafts here on this side, and that is this graft here and this graft here, and those are a Granny Smith type apple. I got that from the same person I got the Appaloosa / Cherry Crush from, and the Hello Kitty and Hard Candy Cider and Black Strawberry Cinewood from on Fig Bid. And then of course over here we have a Cherry Crush. You can see it's kind of, this one's actually more upright than my actual tree over there of it, but it's, you know, pretty flat growth, which is good, kind of a good angle. I have another graft here on the other side, and you can see the union there. This is my Katherine graft. It really likes to grow. It gets a lot of energy. So I'm gonna come through here and summer prune it because it's a tip bearer. Once it stops growing in August time frame here, I'll probably leave the entirety of this branch for now, just because it has this little fruit on it here. And then it's got a really nice fat fruit bud there, 2 fruit buds forming there, a baby fruit bud there, another fruit bud there. So there's lots of fruit buds on it. So lots of fruit for next year, possibly. Okay, and then up here's Pink Lady. All this is Pink Lady over here, and all this mass over here is Pink Lady. I need to come up here and get a spreader and spread this down, or a bottle or something. I could do whatever, but I got plenty of spreaders. And then I got 3 Pink Lady fruit on this tree. You'll notice that I have wax paper here, parchment paper, and that is to protect these apples back here. Once I took the HoneyCrisp out, they were getting direct sunlight, and with the lack of calcium and lack of boron that they're getting because of the apple measles, they're getting the signs of bitter pit on the outside of the apple here. So I blocked the sun. Those only start to show up when the sun started to stress them, and so I'm hoping that blocking the afternoon sun from beating on them all day will help keep that in check. Plus I did a spray of calcium and boron, a foliar spray of it on there about 2 nights ago, so hopefully that will slow that down, stop it. You can see this other apple over here. It does not have any of those red marks on it, and it's only in the morning sun, so it does not have the heat of the day sun on it. It's got nice shade in the afternoon, and also it's a little further up the tree, so maybe it doesn't have as much problems with the calcium and the boron. Alright, I'm going to show you a really good example of what apple measles looks like right here. Hang on, let me see if I can get it to focus on it. It's hard to see because it's dark. My phone, I think, is auto-adjusting to the lack of light, but yeah, right there, see those red marks in there? That is apple measles. That's actually Bart necrosis, internal Bart necrosis is the real name of it. And so it looks like measles, but essentially the bark and the pathways inside are dying because they're not getting the appropriate nutrients, because it's getting poisoned by manganese. Sorry. There's extreme levels of manganese in my soil, low soil pH, and that is just poisoning the trees essentially. Okay, so this is my Ellison orange. I think the main things to talk about on it are just, you can see, look at the leaf right here. Yeah, it has the same texture and chlorosis as that other leaf over there. So you can see it's got apple measles. This right here are 3 of the Ellison orange. I had 4, but this one here grew pretty thick and it knocked another one off. Okay, so moving on to this tree here. This is Arkansas Black here. And then it has a bunch of little suckers that are basically from an old rootstock that used to be here, because there used to be another Arkansas Black tree that got taken out by me and a string trimmer basically girdling it 3/4 of the way around on a big chunk of the trunk, not just like a little tiny chunk of it, and then fire blight did the rest. So I just cut it all out, and it's just left all these I guess I left a lot of roots down there because I pulled 5 different rootstock suckers last year up and planted them in the backyard, and they're growing nice now. It looks like I'll have at least 3 or 4 more this year to go, especially this big one right here. This is my Tropic sweet tree. It's got one itty bitty little fruit there that formed, and so I'll talk about this a little in my other videos when I get to my black strawberry graft in the backyard. Most of my grafts were getting girdled by my grafting tape this year. I don't know why. I've never had that trouble before. I've always used this grafting tape, I don't know if I just did it tighter or whatnot, but they got girdled really badly. And so I had to come cut the tape and then put some splints on there to hold them up. And this tree, because it's really thin underneath it and it's a lot of growth on it, I have tied it to this stake right here to kind of support it more. This is Red Delicious, nothing interesting there to see. This tree I'll spend a little bit of time on because it is one of my most productive trees right now. And this is my Golden Delicious multi-grafted tree. And so you can see, wasp. I got plenty of fruit here. And I'm sorry, the screen is darker than night. I cannot tell if it's focusing on these at all. So if it isn't, I apologize. I have 7 fruit on this tree here, 7 Golden Delicious fruit. I didn't even know if it was going to flower this year, and then it just started sending out a bunch of flowers. All on the tips. These are all on the tips of branches, which is interesting. Because I know Golden Delicious is normally spur bearer, and there's lots of spurs on it. It just, all the flowers were on the tips. So I guess it's a mix. These 2 grafts down here, that one there, that one there, are Hello Kitty. You can see this one's basically just grew out and put a fruit bud out. It didn't really grow out and branch any. This one's put a pretty decent sized branch on, and it's got a couple of fruit buds down at the bottom, so I might get fruit off of it next year. That'd be cool. And then up here I got a couple of hard candy cider grafts. There. And then over here I have a HoneyCrisp graft. The only thing you can tell from the leaves, look at how yellowing around the edges. Definitely a HoneyCrisp sign there, but it's got, I'd say it put 3 fruit buds out. It didn't put any extension growth this year for whatever reason. This is all the extension growth it did last year. It didn't put out any, even with me notching it, and that notch is already healed over nicely. This here is one of my second year grafts here. I did this in 2024. It's a Bite Me apple from Skullcult. And then back here is pink Parfait. And just need to do a little touch up on it. It looks really good. This is an Ananas graft here. And then here's the other 2 of the 7 fruit on this tree. And then forgot this right here is Arkansas Black with a couple of fruit spurs on it down below. So main tree is a Spartan graft. It's put on a lot of good growth. It will need to have it'll need to have some summer pruning done to it here shortly once it finishes growing, and maybe some spreaders for all the vertical growth that it's got going on. And then this is a Williams Pride graft right here. Summer pruning coming for it too. 2 black strawberry grafts over here. It's interesting, if you look, you see this black strawberry is really long. It's grown a lot. This one just put a fruit bud out, maybe one on the back. And then this one over here is Reinette. So, and it's grown really well. I got this really big rootstock sucker about 3 feet from the tree here that I'm wanting to dig up and put in my backyard as well. Use it as a rootstock for grafting onto next year. And then we'll come to this final tree here. And this is Discovery. It put a lot of flowers out this year. It set a bunch of fruit and it dropped a bunch of fruit. So this is the only fruit that remains. Whether or not it makes it, I don't know. I hope it does. And then it has 1 graft over here on it, and that is a Sierra Beauty graft, which is probably my best Sierra Beauty graft I got. Thank you so much everyone for watching. This is my first video that I have edited using software to try and shorten and improve. The poor 11-year-old computer feels like it's about to melt down from running it for a few hours to edit this one.
I piped in a few pictures of my first apple I picked this year as well. It's a very underripe Dorset Golden from about 4 days ago, but it was still shockingly kind of tasted like a Granny Smith apple, so it wasn't too bad. Hopefully I can pick my next two, however, when they're just right. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and see you all in part 2.